Right. Welcome, guys. We are doing our presentation on our OBA assessment. The topic we chose for our wait, I'm at screen no, I'm not sharing it. Let me share it. Right. The topic we have chose is the third one, which is there is pressure on the organizations right now in the world that they have to bring in substantial efforts to decarbonize. Um, the challenge to us is that we have to develop two strategies that lower the negative impacts of operations on the environment, and we have made it. The poster we made is right here. It's a combined effort doing it. So decarbonization is a hot topic now in the world, and the global conversation surrounding climate change has spurred a significant shift in consumer behavior. Today, more than ever, consumers are actively seeking out sustainable products and services. This presents a unique challenge and opportunity for manufacturers how to minimize the environmental impact for their operations while simultaneously catering to this growing market segment. Now, decarbonization, the process means reducing the carbon dioxide emissions released into the atmosphere, and which has become critical for business operations in last many decades. And this is the hot topic now. The two strategies that we have made, we're going to discuss it about. And for that, I'll call on Neha to discuss the first strategy.
So first strategy that I propose will focus on enhancing energy efficiency and embracing renewables. So the first step towards decarbonizing operations involves scrutinizing energy consumption within an organization's facilities. For this, we could conduct energy audits because that's crucial to pinpoint areas where significant energy is being wasted. And this audit should also analyze various aspects, including the lighting systems, machinery operations, and processing areas which demand excess energy. And once we identify the points where energy is actually being overused, targeted strategies can be implemented to optimize energy usage. So, for this, a sub strategy would be to implement energy saving measures. So, we could upgrade to LEDs, which are light emitting diodes. The benefit of this is when you use LEDs, more than 70% of electrical energy gets converted to light energy. But then when you use traditional bulbs, only 10% is converted. So this is a huge impact and could be used. Also, one more thing that we could do is optimize heating, ventilation, air conditioning systems through regular maintenance and utilizing programmable thermostats. Additionally, we can use variable speed drives on motors. So what this does, it allows for adjustments based on demand. And recently, cargo ships, which actually play a vital role in delivering supplies between organizations, these ships have actually switched from using heavy diesel oil to liquefied natural gas. This actually is shown to reduce greenhouse emissions as well. The next thing is we can actually invest in renewable energy for facilities with suitable space and geographical conditions. On-site renewable energy generation can be incorporated. So this includes installing solar panels or wind turbines. Another option would also be harnessing geothermal energy in certain countries where this is prevalent. Also, companies can purchase renewable energy certificates if they're not able to actually harness these options. So and in organizations in countries with geothermal activity, they could invest in geothermal heat pumps as well. So there's a lot of natural ways in which we can be sustainable. That's it from my side. I'm moving on to the next.
So before moving on to the second strategy that the group is going to present, I would like to add to something and explain the concept of the 1.5 C degree challenge, or the 1.5 Celsius goal. Essentially, what it means is by the year 2100, the temperature rise difference should be maintained at 1.5 degrees Celsius. This threshold of 1.5 degrees was selected and chosen and agreed upon in the Paris Agreement of 2015. And it was agreed with 195 countries acknowledging to tackle climate change. Now, what are the harmful effects of having this warning, the 1.5 degree warning? We may have seen very adverse climate change in the past few years. Then rise in sea levels, risk to marine and terrestrial ecosystems, and human health risks as well. Efforts towards the 1.5 C degree challenge have begun, and one of it is shown in our diagram right in the center in the poster, which does illustrate by McKinsey & Co. On how all sectors could decarbonize simultaneously, while at the same time taking it slow on oil, fossil fuel consuming sources to decarbonize on a rather slower rate. I'll add more onto it, but we'll go for the second strategy for now.
Yeah. So I'm going to talk about the strategy 2, which is about the sustainable product lifestyle, which includes the reduce, reuse, and recycle. So the main concept for the sustainable product lifestyle, which goes beyond simply optimizing energy consumption during the production. It encompasses the entire life cycle of a product from design and manufacturing to use and end of our life management. By adopting a holistic approach that minimizing resources usage and promotes the circularity, manufacturers can significantly reduce their environmental impact. Now I'm going to talk about few strategies, sub-strategies, which like includes design for sustainability, that is DFS. So integrating design for sustainability principles into the product development process is a crucial first step. DFS focuses on minimizing material uses during the design phase, exploring lightweight materials, and optimizing product design to reduce unnecessary components, which are key tenets of the DFS. Additionally, designing for disassembly allows us for the easier maintenance, repair, and future component reuse, exceeding products' lifespan and the minimizing waste. The second sub-strategy I'm going to talk about is increasing recycled content. So incorporating recycled materials into the product development, which offers a significant environmental benefits. By collaborating with the suppliers who provides the component made from the recycled contents, and manufacturer can also reduce the reliance on the virgin materials and minimize the environmental impact which is associated with the resource extraction. Third strategy, which is the promoting reuse and the refurbishment. So by developing the take back or the refurbished programs, which allows manufacturers to collect the used product at the end of their lifespan. These programs can like refurbish and resell the products with like low cost. So this not only reduces the waste but also offers the consumer access potentially lower cost alternatives. The last strategy, which is the responsible end of life management. In this, we are partnering or collaborating with the certified recycling companies, which ensures the proper end of life management for their products and that can also not longer be reused or refurbished. These companies have the infrastructure and the expertise in disassembled products for the sort material for responsible recyclings. So now I'm gonna ask Reshma to talk about the benefits and the challenges.
I'm going to talk about the challenges and overcoming of strategy one. When it comes to implementing energy saving strategies, one of the main challenges is upfront investment costs for upgrades and renewable energy technologies. These costs can sometimes be hurdle for manufacturers, but the government incentives and tax breaks available that are significantly offset these initial expenses. This makes it more feasible for business to adapt these strategies. Additionally, we have to consider long-term benefit as the strong energy cost saving can provide a strong return on investment over time. The another positive aspect is the technology advancement are continuously improving the efficiency and affordability of renewable energy solutions. This means that they are becoming more accessible and viable for manufacturers. Next, we are going to see challenges and overcoming of strategy 2. Integrating DFS principles might require initial design changes and potential higher upfront cost. However, these costs can be offset by long-term benefit of reduced material usage and potential lower factoring complexity. Sourcing high-quality recycled materials consistently may require collaborations with variable suppliers practice. Establishing take-back and refurbishment programs involves logical planning and potential infrastructure investment. However, these programs can generate revenue stream through the sale of refurbished products and recover materials. Now I hand over benefits and challenges to Neha.
Before we talk about it,
So,
I mean,
yeah.
let's talk about the Paris Accords. 2015, it happened. SOS message all around the world. Countries came together, signed an agreement. They would stop it at the rising temperatures. But what happens is the developed countries, they took an initiative. They wanted more from India and China. When Donald Trump came into power back in 2016, what he did was he came out of the Paris Accords because he was saying the developed countries like the US, they're fine. They can just change everything. They are not responsible for majority of the carbon emissions. It's China and India. So that's the problem right there. The superpower, the US, the biggest economy in the world, getting out of the Paris Accords, that was a big dent in it. And then there was other COP meetings that happened in Glasgow and in Cairo. Same things talked about it. They talked about how to curb uh, carbonization, but nothing happened because the US is not doing that much. Actually, it's not like a problem with the US as well here. They want more out of developing economies like China and India.
Adding to that, actually, I would like to say that what you said is really true. When you go for decarbonization, a country that is developed like the US will face lesser costs in terms of transitions to eco or green technologies because they have already reached a point where they are already on that journey. For countries that have not begun the transitions or are far behind, they will still be relying on fossil fuel technologies first initially for a longer period of time. And yeah, that's one aspect of it. But the whole point of decarbonization also faces one inherent challenge, that there is something called the carbonization effect due to decarbonization. For an industry to transit from an emitting power zone of greenhouse gases to a green tech industry, it needs to have infrastructure. It needs to use sorry, I would say, what's the word for it? Replace. Sorry,
Yeah.
I lost my word. Replace existing technologies and then add it or expand it to every other bit of the organization that does exist. If I were to give an example, I would give an example of the steel industry. And steel is inherently produced by using fossil fuels or coal, essentially, reducing greenhouse gases. Now, Boston Metal has come up with technology wherein they use hydrogen to replace coal. But the inherent problem over there is having this technology applied across their facilities. So yeah, that's among the things that we must consider, that for going for decarbonization, you will have an inherent cost, not in terms of profit or money only, but also in terms of emissions. Yeah.
Neha, you gonna add something?
So, like Mark said, just the transitioning from what is currently happening, people may not, they might not want to do it right away. They would actually delay it as long as rules come into place or unless it's actually required. So, for companies to actually start decarbonizing right away, we need more stringent measures and practices put into place. That's what I'd like to add.
All right, Neha, Nadeem, you're gonna start what you're gonna talk about.
So here I'm going to talk about the benefits of enhanced energy efficiency and renewable energy. So implementing this strategy offers a multitude of benefits. Reduced carbon emissions from electricity consumption are the primary environmental advantage. So additionally, improved energy efficiency can lead to substantial cost savings through lower electricity bills. Finally, embracing renewable energy and demonstrably reducing one's environmental impact can significantly enhance the brand image and appeal to environmentally conscious consumers. And second, I want to talk about the benefits of sustainable product life cycle. Adopting a sustainable product life cycle strategy offers a multitude of benefits for manufacturers, and the reduced environmental impact through resource conservation and the waste minimization is by advantage. So, perhaps most importantly, demonstrating, prioritizing, and substantially enhances the brand image and the customers' loyalty, attracting environmentally conscious consumers who are increasingly seeking out companies with responsible practices. So that's what I want to say.
Yeah, right. Thank you so much, Mark.
Yeah. So while everyone we have people given us strategies, or a group has presented some strategies. While we are on the module of operations, I would like to add one thing that I forgot, or rather we forgot to just add on, is supply chain disruption. Um, Having disruptions to supply chain also impact decarbonization. And an example of something like this put on a very micro scale is a guy missing a train to work. A guy missing a train to work is going to perhaps take the taxi, and then that's contributing to your gases, right? So anyone on supply chain disruption, does anyone have something to say on that?
I mean, supply chain disruption is one of the major causes of it as well. I mean, when you talk about all these countries, especially developing countries, they talked about these fund for all the developing countries. They will help them to reduce the carbon emissions. But that was the reason US, mainly the Republican leader Donald Trump, wouldn't take part in it, because he don't want to give money away, as he know that those countries are not going to do any substantial efforts to reduce the their carbon emissions. Even the supply chain, I mean, the disruption, they're talking about, you just get away with the coal, don't use it. Those countries are around about 50 years behind all the developed countries, let's say Pakistan or all the other developing countries. They just can't just start like, okay, we're not going to use it. But
Yeah.
they don't have that luxury right now. They can't just change their old supply, like, okay, we're not going to use coal, we're not going to use all these reasons that um, enhance all this carbonization. So yeah, they don't have that kind of luxury right now. But since the developed countries, let's say, because Joe Biden started that fund again and helping all these developing countries to reduce the levels. Yeah.
Yeah. And to summarize it up, decarbonization from any scale, from being a single company in a particular industry or sector, or a whole sector going for the process, is going to be costly in terms of something that we can understand by the three bottom line rule or framework. But nonetheless, keeping the right balance in the process of decarbonization can be achieved. And you can get more on it through the poster that we have presented. A strategy there has been presented, and requirements by McKinsey and Co. Are available on their site, as that we have added on our references as well. So yeah.
All right.